I ain't tryna bring you down, but for real, you might as well give up now. Think you got a chance, but I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. My life been good and bad and all around. The more things I lost, the more I found. One thing I taught myself to do, no matter the problem, refuse to lose. So, how you want it, man? You can choose. If you can't take the heat, don't light the fuse. See, I walk in slow and ignite the room. Like fire, everything I touch, I consume. I'm getting up while y'all just snooze. While you make breakfast, man, I'm on the move. I'm the first one in and the last one out. Whoever owns the place gotta drag me out. In me I trust, yeah, I smell like success, this Elon Musk, huh? Everybody wanna be like us, we don't stop, cause the top just ain't enough, huh? I ain't never gay, no, I ain't scamming, you know black men don't blush, huh? Came here ready to fight on this night, you better just run for your life. Won't you come and see what it's like, living by the rules that you write. You ain't know those lavish delights, now you had no back in sight. All the little lies you recite, just makes all the savage unite. Usually I'm very polite, but I'ma get savage tonight. Even when a dog being nice, every single dog gonna bite. You might think I'm wrong, but I'm right. Just let it get a strong appetite. I'ma let it breathe just a little, give it to you strong, heavy metal. I don't make a sound when I strike. You better just run for your life. Run for your life.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ward Radio live stream. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, and today I am joined in the studio by my lovely wife, Brittany the Shadow. How you doing, Brittany? Ooh, cool Good. New shirt you got there.
Oh, did you see my shirt?
I did. I totally saw your shirt. We're twinners. We're twinners. Match these.
It looks an awful lot like your shirt.
Yeah, totally. I guess this means that it's official that the Ward Radio shirts have finally, they're hot off the presses.
Wait, hold on. What does it say on the back of my shirt? What is it?
I don't know. Oh, what? That's awesome. Epic. Hey, that's actually been a really good thumbnail. That's going to be a really good thumbnail. I'm going to be able to freeze frame that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's official. They're here, ladies and gentlemen. The Ward Radio first print of the Ward Radio shirts are here. And actually, I wasn't planning on talking about this first, but I realized that by us even wearing them, it gives away that the cat's out of the bag. So anyway, we're super excited to announce that the Ward Radio live stream shirts are in. And yeah, we might as well give them the tour really fast. We got the logo in front. We got the super cool QR code. So if somebody asks you, what does that show? You can actually just show them the QR code and boom, on their phone, they can
You don't even have to talk to them. You just show them the QR code.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty sick.
Scan it.
And then also we got what do we got on this side? Oh yeah, we've got the Ward Radio boombox logo. Super retro and awesome. And then yeah, show them the backside, babe.
Okay.
Ba-boom. There it is. There it is. Ward Radio, the official... Microphone's in the way, yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. This is cool, man. This is cool. All right, so let us know what you guys think of the let us know what you guys think of the shirts. And you know, we're gonna do something cool here. The first five people that super chat us $40 or more. The first 5 people that super chat us $40 or more, that should at least cover I think we're listing them for $45 on the website, correct?
Correct.
Brittany, $45
with free shipping.
Yeah, $45 with free shipping. So I guess we'll just do a deal. If you super chat us, I don't think you can super chat $45. I think it's a lot to ask for 50, even though I wouldn't feel bad because YouTube takes like a third. You know what I'm saying? But if you super chat us $40 or more, and then you email us at clerk@wardradio.com, then we'll make sure that we get you a one of these shirts. But in the email, here's the rule about live stream giveaways. You have to make sure that in the email you have your real name with what your avatar is, because unfortunately sometimes the post office will reject letters if you don't say what your real name is. They'll reject packages. So give us your real name and your actual address that we can send, okay, as well as what your YouTube name is so we can cross you off the list. Brittany's, if you don't mind keeping a list of who orders, that'd be actually super helpful.
This is going to get stressful.
Yeah, it's going to get real stressful real fast, isn't it?
We should also probably go over sizing.
Yes, and then put your size down. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Make sure you get your size.
So it's small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, and 3X.
Yes.
They fit what?
I don't know. We'll keep talking.
Oh, I thought you were correcting me. I was like,
No,
I already got
no,
the
no.
sizes wrong. Like, okay, so I'm in a small. They are a boy cut. Like, they're not a fitted shirt. So girls, they're not fitted. This is like a boy.
But we're getting the girl shirts.
Yeah.
We're getting the girl shirts.
So I'm in a small, and it's loose. So they are 100% cotton.
They will shrink.
Yeah, they will shrink if you dry them.
But they're super comfy and they got the nice collar. We sprung for the nicer Gildans. Okay,
yeah.
We didn't get the.
I'm very comfortable in this small, and I think it's really cute. And I have it like tucked in with jeans. This is for the girls. Okay, the boys, they're probably like, Brittany, shut up. We don't care about this. Like, give me a 2X. You know. So I get it, but. That's for all my girls out there.
So we got a couple of super chats here really fast. Why don't we just really quickly burn through those super chats, and then we'll start talking about the news, the Ward Radio news. So Brittany, why don't you? I forgot to turn on my little on-air sign. Doo-doo.
Well, now
there we
it's
go.
official.
Now it's official. We probably should start streaming right now, babe.
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
I was like,
yeah. I thought it was funny.
That was
anyway,
a dad joke.
Yeah, that was totally boomer dad
actually,
joke.
Can you hand me your pencil?
Yes.
And
here you go.
Pad of paper.
Oh, yep.
Just rewind like
Double hooyah.
20 seconds, and there we go.
There you go. If there's any question that we're doing this live, there's your answer right there. So, hit us up with, actually, I'll read the super chats while you're marking all of that down really fast. First super chat comes from Ashton Jade Productions, says beautiful, and she gives us a $49.99 super chat. Thank you very much. So Ashton
gets a shirt.
Ashton Jade gets a shirt. Make sure you email clerk@wardradio with your size and your address and your real name so the post office doesn't reject it. Schmau says love the show and also gives us a super chat of $40 or more, so he gets a shirt as well. And oh my gosh, Carolyn Wright Gaines Music, she deserves a shirt already, but sends another super chat and says, with love from Idaho, love the shirts, yay. And then Erica Lowe does the exact same thing. Thank you very much, Erica Lowe. Those are our first 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Okay, so there's one more shirt out there. If somebody wants to super chat $49 or $40 or more. And then Scrambler says, just received in the language of Adam. Thank you guys a ton. I can't wait to dig into it. Oh, that's true. I'm editing another podcast that we are doing with the authors of In the Language of Adam, David Butler, who also teamed up with Mike Day and the Stick of Joseph to bring us a really cool series on all of the interesting temple rites in the Book of Mormon and so on and so forth. This is really interesting stuff, and we think you're really going to like it. So glad you like the book, and glad that it's finally out. And if you guys want to be able to order your own copy, I'll see if I can't copy and paste the link to the Paul Brothers Plain and Precious Publishing. That's a great alliteration. Plain and Precious Publishing, which is releasing In the Language of Adam. If you guys want to, what's it called? If you guys want to purchase that book as well. So anyway,
you want to read Stephen Diamond or me too?
Yes, really fast. Burn through it.
Stephen Diamond says the full story of the Temple Rocks has been written down for all to read in the Discord Also, we need some Temple Rock merch.
Oh,
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, now that we're starting to sell the shirts too, actually, really funny story, just so that you guys know how to get shirts. If you're watching this live stream after the live stream is over, if you go to WardRadio.com, which right now is queued up so that we can go over some of the news, okay? This is our news blog. This is what it looks like on the homepage right here. You can see, sign up for the newsletter. You can look at all of the latest episodes, so on and so forth. But what's really funny is, babe, remember how I was totally stressed like 2 days ago to try and get an order out? Kyle Eberts. Eberts.
This was funny.
This is funny. Okay, I didn't even have all of the shirts yet unpacked. And I had pictures that were taken at the silkscreen office. And I was messing with the coding of the online store, and I put up a temporary place marker picture and then put up like just some random amount. I think it was like $35 for a shirt, just trying to make sure that all of the PayPal information was correct and that it worked. And I published this site for no joke, like 5 minutes to work on it and make sure that it worked on my phone and that it worked on the desktop and everything. And apparently there's a disconnect between the desktop and the mobile, which I better double check on, but no joke. In that 5 minutes, we got an order. Somebody was on our website and saw it, and his name is Kyle. And I ended up all of a sudden getting an order, and I had to fulfill it. So I'm like, I haven't even gotten my poly mailers yet. So
we hadn't even had our shirts on yet, and this guy has a shirt.
Yeah, there was a guy already placing an order. So I was like, okay, well, there's got to be a demand, and we're happy here to fulfill it. But yeah, it took us about 24 to 36 hours of scrambling just to make sure we got the poly mailer and we got the address and the tracking code, and we had to put in the coding for the website so it automatically sends an email to the person once the tracking number gets in there. It was a whole hullabaloo.
It's been a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's been a whole thing.
It's been a whole thing.
But it's fun.
But it's fun, yes. And so we're not driving past our headlights, but we're getting pretty close. So
I've never heard that expression before.
Oh, driving past your headlights, meaning going faster than you can see?
Yeah, I get it. Like, I get the joke, but like I've never heard it before.
Okay, awesome. So anyway, thank you very much for the super chats, guys. WM Smith says, I will wait for my girl shirt for now. Please reach out for a compliance advisory. Looks like the IRS is after us. So no, I'm just kidding. I believe that is Wanda Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
You skipped some. So the last person to get the shirt for the super chats is Kathy Forrest.
Kathy.
Congratulations, Kathy.
All right. Congrats.
So maybe go over what they have to do one more time just for people.
One more time. Just make sure that you send an email to clerk@wardradio.com, to the Ward Radio clerk. So clerk@wardradio.com. It has to have your real name in conjunction with what your screen name is, because sometimes people send us one or the other and we don't know who is who. Also with your size. Don't forget to tell us your size. And by the way, just so you know that we're finishers here. Okay. Just so you know that we're finishers here. This is an immediate response to the community posts. If you guys haven't had a chance yet to read our community posts, make sure you subscribe to our channel and you consider joining it, because 3 months ago, you'll notice I asked the question, what size shirt are you? We are ordering our first set of Ward Radio shirts. The shirts will be unisex, generally men's sizes. And in response to this exact survey, we got 7% smalls. We got 19% mediums, 32% larges, 25% extra larges, 17% 2XLs, and we even got specially requested, I believe it was 2 or 3 3XLs for some people that said, hey, I want to buy one for my husband, I want to buy one for myself, and he a big boy. So do you have any 3XLs? And we're like, ask and ye shall receive, knock and 100% cotton 3XL shall be delivered unto you.
Also, and the nerd in me just thinks it's so cute. It's like a little bell curve. It's just like,
yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, perfect little bell curve.
Yeah.
That honestly, it trends a little bit big.
Not really. Well.
Yeah, there's a lot more. There's 25% extra larges and 17% 2XLs.
Yeah, but that's is it 7 or 17?
That's
7% small. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
so trends a little bit big, but hey, I am not one to talk. So you know what I'm saying. Anyway,
I think we skipped some.
Okay, catch us up on super chats.
is it Arbon Ransom?
Yep.
Says, thanks for all the great content.
Awesome.
You read W. Smith. Okay. Polly Nikes 2000 says, question for Cardin or Ed. Can you confirm that my Boomer Focus Books care package was delivered and
Yes.
received adequately?
Yes, that actually I picked that up. I got the package alert from the studio, and it's actually apparently been there for like 7 to 10 days already. But I did pick that up.
Nice.
So it is not opened yet, but it is in the studio. It's made it here safely. So thank you very much, Polly Nikes 2000. Next super chat, babe.
Diamond Dave says, loving the stream as always.
All right, rock on. Well, we're
And-
loving that you love the stream. Yeah.
Be Fit to Be Fit gifted a WardRadio membership to Onondagas.
Oh, Don Bradley in the house.
Is that Don Bradley?
Yeah, Onondagas. That's Don Bradley.
I've heard it was him, and then I heard it wasn't him. So now I don't know what to
Well,
believe.
now we got to see which one it is. If he's going
Yeah.
incognito, that'd actually be super cool. But I do know that on Twitter, it is indeed Onondagas is his handle. Quick plug for his book as well. The Lost 116 Pages. If you guys haven't a chance yet to read it, then you got to make sure that you read that book. Since Richard Bushman's Rough Stone Rolling, I have not been as engrossed in a book, literally since Richard Bushman's book as I was The Lost 116 Pages. I got to go back to pubbing that book on behalf of Don Bradley. So, oh my gosh, it says Onondagas, I'm not Don. Oh, that's funny. So there's another Onondagas.
I was right.
You were right.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Well, speaking of impersonations, actually, now's a good time to actually segue. There was a little bit of a hullabaloo earlier this week with Kimberly Watson Smith and Jacob Isbell. Okay, friend of the show and hopefully a newfound friend of the show, Kimberly Watson Smith. Okay. I can't remember exactly all of the details of every comment that was made and so on and so forth, but there has been super chats, both on this channel and seemingly on others in the name of one Kimberly Watson Smith that, advocates of hers have reached out to us, people that I trust. Okay. Saying, hey, we really don't think that's her. I'm friends with her. She wouldn't say that, so on and so forth. So we did a little bit of digging, and I talked to some people that we trust, and she accused one Jacob Isbell of having impersonated her. Okay, just like Onondagas is impersonating Don Bradley and should be ashamed of himself. No, I'm just kidding. Onondagas is a character, if I believe, not mentioned in the Book of Mormon, or is it mentioned in the Book of Mormon, or is it the prophet mentioned with Zelph? I don't remember, but Onondagas is kind of a Mormon historical character and so on and so forth. It's like referencing Sargon of Akkad or Alexander the Great or whatever. Okay, so it's not an impersonation, but I called up Jacob and he fessed up to it. He said, you know what? Yes, I've been trolling I've been trolling. We got a little bit of an online feud going on, and so I've been making some funny comments in the name of her that aren't in the name of her. And he fessed up to it and he says, look, I don't want to cause drama beyond the humor that impersonating is. So I actually think that's kind of funny. He got caught. You know what I'm saying? He got caught. So shame on Jacob Isbell, but he did indeed apologize if he felt that it was beyond the pale. And from what I understand, Kimberly Watson Smith has complained about some maltreatment, which is unnecessary and uncalled for by people of the pneumo or the polygamy denier movement because of some of these comments, is what she's claiming. So he says, hey, that was not at all my intention. My intention was humorous. So he apologizes. He apologizes, Kimberly Watson Smith. All right. So your intuitions were validated. You caught the guy. All right. At the same time, though, I would say, what's that phrase, babe? What's the ultimate flattery? Impersonation is the ultimate flattery. Copying is the ultimate flattery. I can't remember what it is. It's a phrase.
I don't know.
That, hey, it means you've made it, girlfriend. It means you made it. Okay. So anyway, Kwaku revises his comments, I'm sure. And this is a funny chapter where you actually caught somebody, somebody impersonating you, but you want to know what? That means you made it, girlfriend. Welcome to the big top. Welcome to the big tent. By the way, now you know how every single host of this show feels the second you wade into the waters of www.anything that our haters do to us as well. So anyway, oops, sorry, press the wrong button there.
Oh, they
babe.
said imitation is the highest form of flattery.
That's it. Imitation is the highest form
Way
of
to
flattery.
go. What's his name? Stuttergy?
Yeah, Stuttergy. Oh, I see it right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so anyway, all right.
I have a super chat.
We got that cleared up. Hit all the super chats and then we're going to dive into the news.
Okay. Let me see where we left off. Crypto CPA says, much love to the Ward Radio crew. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Roy Anderson says, Cardin, I shot you a DM about this, but you guys have had such a positive impact on my life. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I have been so touched. By some people that have reached out and shared their stories. I can't remember, it was a couple of live streams ago. In fact, you know what? Now might be another good time to share this. In fact, I'm going to pull up our Discord right now. If you just go on our Discord, you'll see there's all kinds of really cool subjects here. Okay. We've got everything from Ward Radio reactions to early saints politics, scriptural canon, geez, man, the West Foyer, people saying hi, moderators, help desks, announcements, welcomes, so on and so forth. Our moderators, bless their heart, our moderators are totally awesome. But there's this section that just popped up, I think in reaction to a live stream that we had a couple of weeks ago, where how has Ward Radio helped your testimony of the church and brought you, or sorry, how has Ward Radio helped your testimony of the church or brought you to the church? And people have been sharing just all kinds of just beautiful, beautiful stories. And I'm going to highlight,
cool.
I'm going to highlight one right here that just very much touched me. By one Michelle. She said, Ward Radio helped me in my grief. I had just had my husband pass away 2 months prior when I found this channel. Okay, and let me bring it back up. When I found this channel, here I was, a widow of 39 with 4 kids and just doing my best to make it through the day. I felt so alone in those first few months, and somehow I had an episode show up on my feed one day and I just started watching it. It was the first time since my husband's funeral that I found myself laughing again. I kept watching the older episodes and felt like I had found a place where I wasn't so alone, and I found myself feeling like I was around people who look at the world in a similar way to the way I do. There was this one day while I was laughing hard at a particular video, as my oldest sat there with me soaking it all in, when I heard my husband's voice say so clearly, I promised you that I'd make you laugh every day. And I sat there in awe, realizing he helped me find Ward Radio to bring me joy and laughter. This community has helped me bring daily tender mercies that keep me going and show me just how truly mindful Heavenly Father is and just how close the veil truly is. Is that not beautiful?
That is beautiful.
And I got to tell you, I believe that our loved ones, when they pass, that they work hard and they do not forget us. I'm convinced that my mother helped my father shortly after passing with just like a lot of surgeries and difficulties that he was going through that kind of seemed just to magically go away. I mean, Coco was inspired. All I'm saying is that Coco, the movie Coco,
like Coco.
The movie Coco, I think is spot on. All right, except for without the Aztec like flying lion thing. That might be that
was cool.
No, it was cool. I'm just saying I don't endorse the flying lion.
Look, it's better than that moth that was in that movie that you took me to. Have you guys seen Godzilla and Kong? I don't even know what the full name of the movie is. That was horrible.
Godzilla X Kong.
Godzilla X Kong. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of King Kong. It's my favorite movie, except for I like the original 1933 King Kong. You can tell the feminists and the lawyers got a hold of this last iteration of Godzilla and Kong. But I got to tell you, I said, babe, for my birthday, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to be eating cookie dough and watching King Kong movies, and I'm just going to be happy as a clam. And I sat there and I ate cookie dough and we watched Godzilla X Kong, and I have to say,
there's like a killer moth. Like if that doesn't tell you everything about that movie,
it was like 7 movies. It's literally like they just took the ruins from Indiana Jones. They took the symbols from Stargate. They took the glove from Iron Man with some of the warriors from Transformers, and then Kong from Peter Jackson's King Kong with some of the humor from Galaxy Quest, and just like put it in a blender, and then just made sure that all of the heroes were woke feminist looking women, and then said, okay, whew, we got a movie. We got a movie that nobody can get angry at. The animal rights activists are going to be happy. The feminists are going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy except for people that bought a ticket and wanted to go watch a King Kong movie. You know? So
I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but
it's not the original. Okay. And so, yes, I don't know if I'm going to be buying the movie poster for that one. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to be buying the movie poster for that one.
Also, Fidget, do you not eat cookie dough?
Oh yeah, no, cookie dough's great. I could eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I think salmonella, someone made that up because I don't know a single person that's gotten salmonella by eating cookie dough. I love cookie dough.
Yeah. So anyway, awesome. So with that said, thank you very much, everybody that has purchased the Super Chats thus far. If you have any questions or comments that you guys want to give us, please make sure you send it in a Super Chat. We'll do our best to read it online, and we will be getting out of here on time today. We're already 30 minutes into this live stream. We haven't even broached the original topic yet. But thank you to everybody who's participated. If you have something to say, please make sure you send us a Super Chat, and me or Brittany the Shadow are going to read it online. Also, make sure you smash that like button, and you please share this stream with your friends as we get started talking about the news. So like this stream
before we get into that.
Okay,
I just realized we don't have Jonah here, and usually he welcomes people, and we have 2 people that I said their names, but we didn't welcome them. So
would you like me to bestow you with the priesthood of the Ward Radio Wigwam for a day?
No, I want you.
You want to be the ward
it.
clerk?
Nope.
Nope, you don't want to be?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Then here, who do we have that has joined? Oh, it looks like he's not a member yet, says Danny Gray, but says, but welcome to my coworker Kyle, whom I've converted to Ward Radio. Oh, so Kyle, we've got a visitor in the Ward Radio wigwam, and we'd like to welcome Kyle to the Ward. Okay.
Also, you need to put a W in the chat for Onondagas.
Yes, we've received the records of one Onondagas, who is not Don Bradley. For everybody that would like to welcome Onondagas into the Ward, please make sure you put a W in the chat.
Do you like how I was like, no, I don't want to be the ward clerk, and then I told you how to do your calling?
Yes.
I liked that too.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Also, we had one that started way early at the beginning of the stream, and unfortunately, I can't find it because, it started before the stream. So we had another person that joined the channel that we haven't had a chance yet to welcome into the Ward Radio Wigwam, because as soon as the live stream starts, it erases the pre-live stream super chats. So please let us know who you are, member that just joined today. We'd like to welcome you into the Ward Radio Wigwam. And also S. Phillips, we've received the records of one S. Phillips. Please welcome him to the Ward Radio Wigwam, or her. It might be a Stephanie or a Stacy. It also might be a Steve. Or what's another male name that starts with an S? Sergio. It might be a Sergio. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
so it might be Stacio. It might be Sergio. But please, everybody, welcome S. Phillips to the chat. So anyway, we're going to jump right into the news now. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, you guys absolutely must check out the Ward Radio website here, and then make sure on the top it says home, about, contact, and news. There's also going to be a new tab titled merch where you can buy your copy of these these shirts. But if you go to news, there's some really, really interesting news that came up lately. First one we absolutely have to talk about here. But ladies and gentlemen, it is official, okay? But Kwaku L is now I don't know if the correct term is sole proprietor. I don't know if the term is large and in charge. I don't know if the term is the grand Pumbaa, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, Kwaku L is now in charge of josephsmith.com. Here's the headline written by Luke Hansen on Ward Radio News. I'm going to be reacting to this as well in real time. I have not had a chance to read this article yet. Luke just published this from the Ward Radio News desk here just only 2 or 3 hours ago. And so we're going to react to this live, both you and I, Brittany. But it says, JosephSmith.com was dormant for 25 years. Its new creative director aims to change that. So it looks like 25 years ago, a tech entrepreneur woke in the middle of the night with a pressing thought. He arose as if guided by a force outside of himself and went to his computer. He shouldn't have been able to get what he was looking for, but he had acquired it within minutes. He was now the owner of the web domain josephsmith.com, which had become available for purchase only the day before. The man, who will remain anonymous, was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Church, and had some talks with the church about acquiring the website. Ultimately, it was decided that the man would retain ownership of the domain, and he kept it without developing a website for decades, okay? And this is a big deal. In case you guys didn't realize, if you ever search for Joseph Smith, first thing that comes up is the church's website. Second thing is usually a Wikipedia article. From what I understand with other talks that I've had before reading this article, third thing for a while it had a temporary just blog on it, was josephsmith.com. And anybody familiar with search engine optimization knows that that's power. That's power being the third hit for the prophet of the restoration. So owning josephsmith.com is a big deal. That changed a few weeks ago when the man reached out to Kwaku, a part-time apologist. That's funny. And owner of the events company Young and Dumb. The man offered Kwaku complete creative control of the website. He asked Kwaku to use it to tell the story of Joseph Smith and the church from a faithful perspective. In a video posted on his Instagram on May 2nd, that's today, Kwaku announced his new role at josephsmith.com and explained the website's importance. It's a website, quote, that if live would dominate the conversation around, quote, Mormonism, end quote, online, he said. So we're just going to click for a second on this video and see what Kwaku has to say in his special announcement.
It's no secret that I've spent the last few years leading a pretty wild life. I came to Utah for BYU and planned on going on a mission, coming home, meeting that special someone, and getting married. Well, one of those three things actually happened. In that time, I found my love for marketing, event planning, and solving problems. I've had some incredible highs and incredible lows, and yes, my fair share of controversy. And through every season, Heavenly Father has showed up in my life, and I've been blessed to see miracles. But none of those things could prepare you for what I'm about to tell you right now. For over 20 years now, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has used the internet to spread the message of the restored gospel. They've done it through websites like Stripe.
Okay, I just do have to say before we continue, if you weren't so happy and still good looking and the general theme of this was positive, it almost sounded like one of those cringy, my friends is announcing how inactive they are.
Do people do that?
Oh yeah, the big long Facebook telephone posts where they announce to the world that they're leaving the church. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, he owns josephsmith.com. Okay. So, all right, let's see what he says, how he finishes.
Strive to be, Mormon.org, and Come Unto Christ. Other restoration branches that believe in the Book of Mormon, like the Community of Christ, the Remnant, and Church of Jesus Christ Bickertonite, have also used social media to spread the message of the Book of Mormon and the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because of the internet, the world has been getting the message of the Book of Mormon, the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, and the teachings of the prophet Joseph Smith more now than ever before in Latter-day Saint history. Yet, there is one website that has been off limits to the public for 25 years. It's a website that, if live, would absolutely dominate the conversation around Mormonism online. It's a website that, if live, would have millions upon millions of visitors every single year, could impact missionary work like never before, and could truly change the narrative whenever people begin to Google our church.
All right. So he's in charge of this thing now. And in an interview with Ward Radio News, Kwaku explained his rationale behind this statement. So far, the antis, those who are antagonistic towards the church, have the best domain names. Mormon Stories is much better than Strive to Be and Come Unto Christ. Nobody is searching for the word unto, you know? Mormon Stories is a website and organization run by John DeLynn, who was excommunicated in February of 2015. Kwaku gave some details about his hopes for the site in his announcement video. I've been given the light to build the dream. I've been given the green light to build the dream team of photographers, cinematographers, thought leaders, writers, you name it. Many minds build greater ideas. This isn't the Kwaku Show. This is an incredibly serious task. Kwaku encourages those who wish to participate or donate to contact him at kwaku@josephsmith.com. Wow, this is super interesting. So, josephsmith.com. So, should we just check it out? Want to do just a raw search really fast, babe?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let me see. I've never done this before. josephsmith.com. Boom. Here it is from Kwaku. A message from Kwaku, our head contact. Okay, so the website looks pretty cool. We're just going to have to change the layout here for a second. Okay. So there's the website, and it looks like if you click on the video, enter your email address to view the video. Smart guy. He's collecting the email addresses. All right, so here it is. josephsmith.com. It's launched, man. Wow.
Nice.
What do you think? Do you think you would stumble upon that while searching for a Relief Society? A Relief Society talk, babe?
If I was talking about Joseph Smith.
Yeah, it's true. This is I'm just curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they do with it. And we wish him luck in his endeavors. I just think of so many options here. I almost don't know which one you go for. You know, do you do a documentary on him, and do you talk about the great apostasy and restoration? Do you just aggregate news on the man? Do you sell it to the highest anti-Mormon bidder so he can besmirch the prophet of the restoration in a cynical bid for a filthy lucre? You know what I'm saying? Like,
the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, what do you do? Jeez. Okay, well, we wish our buddy Kwaku L the best and trust that he will do his best to represent Joseph Smith well. The only... Can
I get some super chats?
You can get the only super chats, but the only criticism I got for you, Kwaku, is, buddy, copyright 2023, josephsmith.com, all rights reserved. That's last year's date. That's bad for SEO if you got an old copyright, my man. So you got to make sure you fix that copyright, Kwaku.
Wow. Good job pointing that out in a live.
You know, hey, I'm just helping him out, man. Okay. So anyway, keep going.
Okay, Shemau says, I loved Godzilla X Kong. I thought it was good addition to the story. Did you see Godzilla versus Kong or the other monster verse movies? If not, you may be missing context.
Okay, I'm not saying...
I'm probably missing a whole lot of context. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not saying that this was Plan 9 from outer space. Okay? I'm not saying this was Monos Hands of Fate. Okay? I'm just saying I like simple, and the original King Kong was simple. Okay? Beauty killed the beast. And we're going to go find the beast. They discover Skull Island. They discover the monsters. They discover Kong. They bring him back as an exhibition. You can't control nature. So nature dominates the largest man-made structure in New York City. But ultimately, the cynicism of man that doesn't recognize true unbridled beauty ends up killing the most gorgeous creature who is simply trying to express his love for the beauty, Fay Ray, in 1933, and in the early 2000s, none other than Naomi Watts. So I like simple. This movie that came out, it was not the simplest. It was good, visually stunning, sound was great. It was a popcorn film that was 100% worth the ticket. Don't know if it's worth the DVD. Keep going.
My
Brittany.
ears were ringing out into my car of just Godzilla and Kong screeching.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So anyway, we're going to go over some comments, but you want to read the super chats first.
I have super chats to get to. And I skipped Steven Diamond. Sorry, Steven. He says, can we do a cup of Cardin about the Temple Rocks?
Yeah, sure. That's actually not a bad idea to put onto the docket, my man. It's a cup of Cardin about Temple Rocks. That's actually a good idea. Hit it, Brittany.
Anonymous, so I don't get fired, says, W for Kwaku, make us proud.
Yes, I'd say that's definitely a big W for Kwaku, and hopefully he will indeed make us proud.
Joe Hernandez says, sorry, government got the rest. I'm a big fan. I can't stop watching. Living in Utah, missing Riverside, California. Would like to be on the show sometime.
So from Riverside, who from Riverside? What?
Joe Hernandez.
All right, Joe Hernandez from Riverside. You know San Bernardino County, where Riverside is the largest county in the world?
Really?
Yeah, it's like the largest municipal landmass in the United States of America. It takes like 5 hours to cross it. So, like, good thing.
But not the most populated.
No, definitely not the most populated. I'm talking about largest landmass.
Oh,
it goes from Arizona to basically the borders of Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah, it's a massive landmass.
Interesting.
Yeah, so great. Awesome. Next super chat.
Darren Brower says, Kweku El Jefe.
Kweku El Jefe.
Because of his stash. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Kathy Forrest says, my wonderful hubby is paying for my membership, just like in my new ward in North Carolina. I got no W. Please and thanks.
Oh, she didn't get her W for welcoming to the ward.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so we have now received the records of, what is her name?
Kathy Forrest.
Okay, Kathy Forrest. You know what we're going to do, Kathy? I'm going to type in right now. Kathy Forrest gets a W. A W. Everybody that would like to welcome to the Ward Radio Wigwam, Kathy Forrest. Please welcome Kathy by placing a W in the chat.
W.
Yeah, a W in the chat. Thank you very much for
funny.
Thank you for the not the super chat, but the membership. And also, we've had some really great comments this week in the vein of how Ward Radio has helped some people. I'm pulling up one of them. I thought this was also very touching. It says, I have been watching you guys for a couple of months now, and I have been completely inactive for over 20 years. Thanks to Ward Radio, today was my first Sunday back to church, and it was amazing. This is our first Sunday back to church. Babe, this is awesome. It says, I can't wait to go back next week. Thank you for being real. Thank you for being out here. You know what? That's what we do, is we just stick our neck out and we
hope it doesn't get cut off.
Yeah, we hope we don't get canceled that week. And we say what we think, what we feel, and we do our best to strive to live the gospel. We never claim to be pious on this show. We miss the mark every day. But I do feel that our intentions are good, and we're glad you liked it. And Melissa, glad to have you back. Glad to go back to church. Also, we interviewed Brother Lunford was his name in the live stream 2 live streams ago about having come back after having been inactive all throughout COVID. And he was saying that he had gotten a lot of really good responses from people who were welcoming back as well. Some other funny comments happened when Quakuel was calling out the Girls Camp podcast. I thought it was really funny. Jessica Randall said, quit calling me out while I drink my swig. Oh, who cares about spaghetti straps? And no, it's not a clothing judgment thing. It's simply something deeper. And a lot of people wanted to make sure that I knew that the Marie Antoinette quote was unverified as best. It was basically propaganda perpetuated by the revolutionaries. For an aristocrat of her time, she was a decent person. Actually,
what are they going to tell me now, that George Washington didn't chop down a cherry tree? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I hate to break it to you. But you know what, Grace Church 1791? First off, you're right. It is proverbial hearsay, shall we say, that was documented after the revolution that she said, so let them eat cake. Whether it's true or not true, its existence in the zeitgeist as the epitome of aristocratic ivory tower disconnection is undisputed. Okay. So whether it's falsely acclaimed to her or correctly attributed to her, is irrelevant to how it currently exists in the zeitgeist, which is as a quote associated with her name. Now, do we have to do our due diligence historically and saying, hey, maybe she wasn't that way? Yes. And what's so interesting is, do you know who the ultimate truthers are? You know, my assistant Cody, friend of the show Cody, is a huge French Revolutionary, a huge French Revolution fan, loves the study of Napoleon, loves the study of the French Revolution. And he's actually brought this point up several times, that Marie Antoinette was actually quite brave upon her execution. She refused to bow, supposedly, to the level of the revolutionaries. They hated her, and that's probably why they falsely, if it is false, falsely attributed the quote to her, because apparently she had a very dignified exit under the guillotine. Meanwhile, Robespierre, the man that had originally sentenced her to death, when he was finally captured by the very revolutionaries that once put Marie Antoinette to death, apparently he screamed like a stuck pig and squealed and was the most undignified guy before they actually put him underneath the guillotine. And the real French revolutionary truthers, it's very interesting, are French Catholics that are going back and really doing the due diligence of discovering what is fact and what is fiction, and publicizing what is indeed fact or fiction that exists currently in the zeitgeist of the French Revolution. And it is some intriguing stuff. So apparently Robespierre was a pansy and Marie Antoinette was actually quite dignified. So yes, Grace Church, you are correct. You called me out. I repent historically. And continue on to the next comment, which I find was really interesting. Here is Kyle talking on our podcast about the lost sunken city of Atlantis. And he said, official petition to coin the shorthand of submerged cities to submitties, which was a funny linguistic faux pas that Josh Gailey came across during the video. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, we totally recommend you see it and you check back in on it. But I loved it and it was awesome. Do we have any super chats before we continue on to the other news stories?
Anonymous, so I don't get fired, says, the chat wants to know, will Kwaku still be on WardRadio?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we haven't booted him off or anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, to my knowledge, he's not quitting. So, pay ain't great, that's for sure. But he
loves us too much.
Yeah, no, he's. I think he's got a good idea here, where he wants to try and put positive content up in the name of Joseph Smith. And what better person to do it than Joseph Smith's biggest fanboy in the Restoration than Kwaku El. So it doesn't surprise me that josephsmith.com landed in his hands. I just do hope that he rises to the occasion of representing it as best he can. And we wish him best of luck in all of his endeavors. And then now I comment on a very funny quote where this guy said, please don't call it the Mormon Atlantis. There's already so much confusion about the topics. We don't need to conflate them. Just, guys, there's no smoking gun of Atlantis being real. You know what I'm saying? Although I got to tell you, the jury's out with me on that one. You know what I'm saying? The jury's out with me on that one. And I got some very good reasons for it too. But it exists as the fun word we use to describe a sunken magical city. So if we're talking about an awesome, sunken, fantastic city in the Book of Mormon, I think it's totally fine to call it the Mormon Atlantis, because everybody realizes when you say that, you're not actually making a claim of Atlantis being real. You're simply making a comparison between a current example and a past example. So anyway, we continue to the news. Babe, do you got anything else to say? Any other super chats to catch up on?
We have more super chats.
Okay, burn through the super chats.
Okay. Tanner Smith says, love the show, guys. Helps me get through my night shifts. Any advice to help family members who are now Delinites?
Delinites?
Followers of John Dehlin, I'm assuming.
Oh, Delinites. Okay, well, first off, obviously, you always have to love them. There is a question. The definition of love is back up for grabs, and I suggest we go back to the original definition, okay, where we're not addicted to niceness culture. We really do have to figure out how to push back and defend our values from the straw man claims of anti-Mormons. John Dehlin is indeed an anti-Mormon. And right now, it's not just John Dehlin. All of the ex-Mormon anti-Mormons are absolutely capitalizing in on the cult porn craze. If you actually look at the self-declared, self-released statistics of the Mormon Stories podcast, a majority of the viewers of that podcast are not members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And though having been shown ad nauseum information in the contrary of their worst claims of abuse, of neglect, of violence, of hatred, and all these horrible things, that doesn't make for good cult porn. And if you're in the business of selling tickets, getting clicks, and getting views to make your money at the expense of making a religious group seem wildly cultish and crazy, then you're not going to want to listen to the reasoned responses. You're not going to want to actually ingest the new information that says, oh, well, maybe this claim is kind of outlandish. Oh, yes, actually, Don Bradley has shown the historical record that Joseph Smith was not sequestering 14-year-olds. Oh, yeah, also, I don't know, Brigham Young didn't, drink the blood of, X, Y, or Z person. I've seen them make literally every single wild claim out there. And if you look at my top 3 rules of anti-Mormons, I think it's rule number 9 is they always try and conflate secular scandals or other church scandals with our church. And just like there was a Catholic abuse scandal, they've tried to make a Mormon abuse scandal, grasping at straws, almost out of the proverbial nothing. They try and make all kinds of claims. There was the Scientologist scandal of sequestering. So they try and make these horrible, heinous cases of just wildly mentally ill people that long ago renounced their Mormonism, committing crimes as somehow a product of Mormonism, which is wholly unfair. And frankly, they make arguments that if done to Jews would be considered anti-Semitism. But because it's permissive to say religiously bigoted things against Mormons in our society in a way that it's not permissive to say it against Muslims or against Jews, it gets overlooked. So what I would say is you need to love these people, but you also need to stand your ground. I think they will respect you more for it. This phrase that has existed in our society that if you want to keep your friends, don't talk religion or politics. Okay, fine. I think if you engage in that as your ethos, all you do is you breed a society that is impossible, that just is too uncomfortable talking about difficult subjects. And faith sometimes can be a difficult subject or an uncomfortable subject, especially when you have somebody attacking your faith based upon straw men by people that are home wrecking for profit. I mean, there's a reason why that term got coined, okay? The religious deconstruction, as they call it, which in reality is just religious persecution over the internet, needs to stop. And it has sometimes violent consequences. Arson is up 14%. You can do anything violent against a member of the church and call it punching a Nazi, and all of a sudden it's okay from a progressive point of view. And I don't think that's okay. So you're gonna have to stand your ground. You have to love these people, but you simultaneously have to stand your ground. Only you know your family members and know where the line between standing your ground and being a jerk is, okay? But it's okay to call out religious bigotry, and it's okay to say, no, that right there is not true, and I don't trust the person saying it. And if you do not trust John DeLynn or his motives or his cash bias, then you need to speak up and you need to say something. If you do trust it and you think he's a straight shooter, then fine. I'm not telling you who you should trust and who you shouldn't trust, but familiarize yourself with the battlefield, familiarize yourself with the arguments, dig deep, use a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, and say, look, like, I love you, bro, but I also love my faith. And I'm glad to talk to you about any of these subjects, but I would commit them. I would say, I'm glad to talk to you about this, but if I can disprove something you say, you have to commit to me that you're not going to bring it up in that way anymore and you're not going to propagate that lie. So I'd hold their feet to the fire. That's what I do with my friends. That's what I do with any of these other kind of conversations we have. And I'm not saying that that's a perfect approach, but I'm saying it's a better approach than just ignoring the problem, thinking it's going to go away and having all awkward Thanksgiving talks. I'm a fan of addressing the elephant in the room and saying, okay, look, here's a rule book about how we're going to do this. Yeah, no swearing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you if I think something's a straw man. Some things we might just have to agree to disagree, and so on and so forth. But love them through it. Sometimes the only way past something is through something. And I'm a firm believer that everybody goes astray at some point in their life. Don't judge them. There's no reason to judge them. We all go astray in one way or another during our lives because we're not perfect and there only has been one perfect man. Okay? That's Jesus Christ, and that's why we strive to follow his example. So, yeah, I don't know necessarily what you mean when you say like, they've become Dylanites, for lack of a better term. Does that mean they're wildly toxic, angry Exmos? If so, that's a different playbook. Then there's some people that are being misled by cash-biased arguments of cult porn. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'd have to know a little bit more about the situation, but I would say don't be afraid to stand up for your beliefs, bro. At the same token, don't be a dick. I don't know how to say it other than, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to stand up for yourself while simultaneously not being a jerk about it. And only you and your family knows where that line is. So I wish you the best in that endeavor.
Let us know how it goes, Tanner.
Yeah, let us know how it goes. I'm speaking too much already. Keep going.
Okay, the next one is Ashton Jade. She says, "Love it when Cardin nerds out. I'm here for it."
Oh, what did I nerd out on, babe?
Probably the French Revolution.
We got to stick up for Marie Antoinette if she had a dignified exit.
Yeah.
At the hand of those proto-communist anti-Mormons. I'm sorry, progressive revolutionaries.
Cardin nerds out a lot. He's actually a really big nerd.
That's true.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. Keep
I'm
going.
a big nerd, though, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you're a hot one.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Okay. Next
going.
one, Diamond Dave. Totally forgot to tell you, being ordained into the ironic priesthood this Sunday. Someone I've been talking to has been invited, then setting an appointment for my patriarchal blessing.
Whoa,
Wow.
Diamond Dave.
That's cool.
Boom, double shakalaka, brother.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
happy
you
for
go,
you.
Diamond Dave. I'm stoked for you, man. Patriarchal blessing is something so cool that our faith does that no other faith does. And really proves that there's an esoteric strain in Mormonism that just does not exist anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep going, babe.
Yeah, I love my patriarchal blessing. We should
Rock
do an
on.
episode on that.
Let's do it.
I'm going to do it with the women.
Okay, you can do it with the girls.
That's my idea.
By
Not
the way,
yours.
are you digging WardRadio Women?
I mean, I am, or is the chat?
Yeah. What do you guys think of the women's show, guys? Carolyn Ryken's music. What do you think of the women's show? Where you at? You still in the chat? You know what I'm
Did you
saying?
leave? Are you here?
Did
We
you
don't
leave?
know.
You still here? Yeah, keep going, man.
Okay. Hold on. I lost my spots and I got to scroll. Okay. Rex Good says, is it Molly B back and ask him about 532?
Oh, I believe he means Mowley Bonner.
Mowley Bonner?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's 532?
I don't know. I bet he knows, though.
Yeah, you got to type it out.
Is this some kind of inside joke, Rex, you got with him? What's 532?
I don't know. It's a good question.
All right. Ashton Jade again says, also here for his cursey words. Cardins?
I don't think I've ever sworn on the show.
Uh-oh. Darren Brower says, I demand equally, where's my trad dad episode? WardRadio canceled.
Yeah, that's funny.
Maybe
Trad
I demand
Dad.
equality. Maybe that's what he's meaning.
Yeah. So, we're going to have to talk about being a trad dad. But the truth is, in the words of Quakuel, the guy grind hasn't changed in 2,000 years. It's only the girl grind that has. So really being a trad dad is just being a dad. Because most betas here that have shirked their responsibility to become fathers just go out and become male feminists or secularists and just not fathers. So I think if you're a dad, you're kind of just a trad dad almost by default because it's only the trads having children now and becoming dads.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it for the super chats?
That is it. And the chat is loving WardRadio women, so thank you so much.
Okay, cool. And we have a couple of ladies that have wanted to jump on to WardRadio Women as well. So we think we might be starting an A team and a B team. and then
I
filtering.
don't like the A team and the B team. That sounds
You're right.
like,
That's too hierarchical.
Yeah.
We'll say the West Coast and the East Coast team.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, that would work. By the way, great nails, babe.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, boom shakalaka. I just noticed those. Those are super fluorescent on the
Do
the
they look really?
lightings.
I mean, they are bright. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably showing up a bit bright on camera.
No, that's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. So anyway, we're going to go over the second article here that I wanted to talk about, which was the original reason why we're live streaming. Okay, we only got another 15 minutes here, so I might as well just go over it right now super fast. But I thought it was really interesting. Earlier this week, we released a video based upon an article written by Luke Hansen that really surprised me, and I'd be curious to see what your thoughts were on this, babe. But women are greatly overrepresented in general conference according to topic tags. So commonly, like Julie Hanks will talk about how, oh my gosh, she'll post screenshots about the number of times covenants were mentioned, and then say, oh, covenants, it stress women out, shouldn't have them. Or I don't want to put words in her mouth, so that's not what I'm saying she said, but I'm just saying that's an argument somebody would make, trying to use topic tags, word mentions, and other open source data like that as a data point that kind of proves their perspective. All right. And so there's a guy, I believe a member of this channel, that actually kind of watchdogged the topic tags of General Conference since 1951 and did some digging, and then kind of gave a tip to Luke Hansen, who wrote an article on this, that indeed women are actually greatly overrepresented in General Conference according to topic tags. And what I have kind of sensed as a general pro-woman, anti-man bias, and I shouldn't say pro-woman, anti-man, but I should say obviously more fearful of what the screeching harpies and feminists might say, instead of how it might help the baptized members of their church bias coming from the church office building and those that approve the talks.
Okay, but what are the tags?
Well, actually, that's where we're going to go over right now.
Oh, perfect.
Is we did a video on it earlier with Luke, but I want to react to it right now with you, babe. And General Conference has been a part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the church, since its inception in 1830. During General Conference, the worldwide membership of the church gathers to listen to the gospel messages of church leaders. Within days of each conference, the talks are added to an online library containing over 50 years of General Conference messages from 1971 to the present. I'm sorry, I correct myself. I said 1951. I meant 1971. To assist the members of the church in their studies, tags are added each talk designating what topics each talk addresses, and some tags are for topics geared more towards either men or women. The frequency of these tags shows topics addressing women outnumber those addressing men over the past 50 years. And dude, these stats are crazy. Look at this graph, babe. Mm-hmm. This graph right here shows that here's the tags. Relief Society, there's over 120 different talks about Relief Society. 100 over 120 about women. About 80 about Relief Society, about 60 about motherhood, only about 50 about fatherhood, 40 about young women, brotherhood less than 20, Aaronic priesthood less than 10, priesthood quorum less than 10, Melchizedek priesthood less than 5. Like basically, men are just buried and not talked about. So,
okay, finish your thought.
Okay, and so obviously there's a wild overrepresentation in the data of talks geared towards women during General Conference. And so Luke did a little bit of more investigative reporting, called up Kurt Frankham, who runs the podcast Leading Saints. Is not, I wouldn't call it men's rights, but he's somebody who is actively engaged in the good cause of trying to make sure that the men of the church are taken care of in the unique ways and needs that they have. And he says, yeah, like conference is basically a completely effeminate experience now. And I don't want to put words in his mouth. In fact, because I don't want to put words in his mouth, I'll actually go look up his words. But here are his words. He said, there are no tags for men. Men, manhood, and young men corresponding to the tags of women, womanhood, and young women as seen in the chart. Tags are not a perfect measure of the relative prevalence of these topics in General Conference. But he interviewed Kurt Frankham about these statistics and the approach taken to men and women of the church. Frankham, the founder and CEO of Leading Saints, an organization dedicated to helping Latter-day Saints become better leaders, says, I would say General Conference has become more of a feminine experience. The church generally is becoming more of a loving Greg Olson type. Jesus experience. I think women would resonate more with General Conference today as opposed to the 90s when priesthood meeting was definitely more of a masculine message. So we can have General Relief Society meetings, just no priesthood meetings. We can have a General Relief Society presidency, but there's no General Elders Quorum presidency. And I don't think it is fair to say that, oh, well, that's the first presidency. Okay, the overworked dudes, after they're done trying to run a worldwide church, with what extra time they have left over, they can dedicate to that to the men. That means there's just going to be no attention being given to them. But do you feel General Conference is a feminine experience?
Okay. There's a lot of thoughts in my head about this. One, go back to that graph where it talked about the tags.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, obviously, there's more mentions about women, motherhood, the girly tags, right? Maybe that's because the girls need to hear it more. Maybe the boys aren't being mentioned because they are fine. You could look at it like that way. You're looking at it like they're just catering to women, or maybe they're kind of driving it into women like, hey, like motherhood is important and so is womanhood. So maybe they're trying to chastise the women a little bit by mentioning it more. I don't know.
I don't think most people that look at the talks given to women feel like it's a chastisement, especially in the same way that the men are chastised during priesthood.
Well, not chastised because that's a negative connotation, but maybe they're mentioning it more.
Exhorted?
To try to like get it into our brains or like osmosis or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking about it more because it needs to be heard more.
Okay, but then what I would do in Kurt Frankum's defense and also the article's defense, I would say, okay, well, based on what measurable quantifier? The most vulnerable demographic in the church for self-termination between young men, older men, young women, and older women is actually the elders quorum. So the least funded, the one with no room, like by almost every measurable quantifier, it's the men in the church that are catered to last, with the lowest budgets, with the lowest everything, because so many people just think, okay, well, I guess they don't need the help or they don't need whatever, but just by no measurable quantifier that I see are the men of the church catered to in the way that women are, other than what I feel is a straw man of like, leadership.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do agree with you in the sense that I think men in the church specifically are kind of looking around like, what do we do? Like, what's our role? Like, there's no more Boy Scouts. Like, I look at that with our son. Like, what does he have to look forward to being a boy in the church? Like, what? I don't know. When we were growing up, there was so many options. Like, there was the sports. There was we had 3-point contests on the weekends, and it was like a stake thing, and sometimes multi-stakes were involved. There was Boy Scouts, there was your mutual activities, and there was a lot more youth. Where we live, the youth, it's not so big anymore. So maybe I'm just looking at it through my bias of being in California, where the church isn't as strong, say as in Utah or Idaho or something.
I don't know if I'd call that strong, but anyway, keep going.
Well, I mean, no. in numbers, okay?
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I don't know. I do agree with you where it isn't very masculine. What masculine programs do we have? I can't really think of any.
Well, and this... sorry, keep going. I interrupted you.
No, and then I was going to think of something else. But then I'm also... That's one. And then I'm also thinking, when I was watching Conference, though, I wasn't thinking, oh, all these talks are so feminine. I didn't view it like that. Did you? Watching the talks, I thought they were for everyone.
I think that's fair to say that in my view, I don't think I would go so far as saying that General Conference is a feminine experience, and I'm not saying that's what Kurt Frank meant to say. I would say it's a little bit more of a sterile experience. Which would insinuate neither male or female. I'd like to think that General Conference talks were for everybody, but I will definitely say it has no overt appeal to men. That's for sure. And in the absence of anything that might be overtly appealing towards men, I would say
But just masculine in the general sessions or just in the priesthood session? I feel like the general sessions have always kind of been the same.
Priesthood was definitely a much more masculine experience. And we did a podcast recently where he said, look, we're failing young men. And I think what you're saying as a mother that, hey, I'm looking for more than is being delivered. And I remember back when we used to deliver more. Mm-hmm. I think I've wanted to talk about this for a while because I've been frustrated with this for about a week now. Of course, I'm thinking about this when we only have 5 minutes left in the podcast, but I really do think it is important to mention. And you know what? If anybody in the church office building is watching, or if you guys are friends with anybody in the church office building, like, please bring this up to them because I really feel like they need help. Okay? Here is the Young Men Worldwide Instagram page, which was just barely launched. And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing about this, absolutely nothing about this that screams this is for young men. There's nothing here. This looks like a Relief Society, a well-done Relief Society post.
I appreciate the color code. I mean, it's aesthetically nice, but maybe that's me because I'm a girl.
Yes, because you're a girl. Like, in fact, the actual only overt picture that you see right here is the frame of a girl.
Yeah, why is there a girl?
That's singing, okay? And there's some pictures of Jesus Christ and so on and so forth, and some messages. The only people you're seeing on the entire site here. Look, the first young man is post number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We are over 30 posts in. We're over 30 posts in to Young Men Worldwide before we actually see a picture of a young man.
Okay,
before we see the picture of the young man, we're seeing a bunch of messages from all of the old men telling all the other old men how they should behave, as though Young Men Worldwide is somehow a replacement for the email chain.
Don't call them old men. That's not nice. But click on the post of the girl. Like, what is that about?
It's probably a repost from a music video of Young Women Worldwide. Let's take a look. Let's see what this says.
Is there a caption?
Okay, so Young Women Worldwide, it looks like, did some kind of... No, Strive to Be. So Strive to Be...
And what's Strive to Be?
Look, I'll click right on it right here.
Should I know what that is? Is that Young Women?
Strive to Be, religious organization. It's the official Instagram for the youth of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So this is a much better template right here of what Young Men Worldwide should be, but just of young men. Mm-hmm. So really, how do you define masculine energy, babe? Just really fast.
Horses building fires.
What if you wanted your son to turn out like the ethos that's on some Instagram page? What Instagram page would it be? Nitro Circus? Good at doing backflips on his motorcycle? Well, I don't know. What would you not mind if your son ended up like?
Well, he's really into soccer. So that's
he's really into soccer.
That comes into mind.
Okay, so then what we'll do is I'm just pulling up a couple of literally doing Instagram.
He does like dirt bikes though too. So
okay,
cool.
So I'm pulling up Instagram of Nitro Circus, and I'm not saying that you have to be doing backflips on a motorcycle to be considered masculine. Okay, we're just doing a social media audit here. Okay, but now I'm also going to pull up the Instagram of what? Nike.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to play at though. Like, you have to keep the young men's attention and cater to what their interests are. And I don't know, posting a music video of some girl singing, I know my son would not want to watch that.
Look at the energy of this, okay? There is some girl somewhere that just is doing some amazing thing in gymnastics, wearing Nike stuff. So great, get a picture of her, tell the story of her. There's some award getting won somewhere in Nike clothes. Okay, here's a young athlete, fresh-faced, awesome young athlete talking about how much, she loves Nike stuff. And then you get to see the cool latest model. Let's X out of this and just come back. There's some product stuff. Like, this is good, high energy, professionally well done Nike Instagram page. Look, What young men worldwide needs to be doing is a combination of strive to be and look at Nitro Circus. Look at this. Here's a young man doing some cool trick. Here's a young man jumping off a stage. Here's a young man showing how happy he is on this new goofy bike that he got. Young men worldwide, okay, should be the following. This is free advice. Church office building. Free advice, okay? When I look up young men worldwide, okay, young men worldwide should not look like this. It should look a little bit more like this and a little bit more like this. And the template is the following. There's a young man right now in a new country that just got opened up. I don't know, one of the African countries that just got opened up in the past decade for the preaching of the gospel. And this kid is breaking youth records for the Youth Olympics in running the 400-meter dash. This kid is starting some super cool company. I've heard of really interesting microemprendimientos, which means micro businesses started with church funding of this guy that's starting a fish farm when there's a local lake that is shut down for 2 months and the price of fish skyrockets. So he's harvesting a local type of fish in this interesting new invented pond system that he's got going on or something with church funding. Go find him. Go take pictures of him. Have locals take pictures of him and tell you their story and then put that on the Instagram page. There's a kid in Canada that just built some new motor for some airplane and he's competing as a 17-year-old in the Canadian air races. Go take a picture of him, okay? There needs to be a highlight of all of the young men so that when a young man joins the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, he feels like he is joining something. He doesn't feel like he is getting the memo. He feels like he is part of the revolution, the Jesus revolution. That is young masculine energy. But instead, this is what we got.
Less words, more cool pictures.
Yes, more cool pictures and also more brotherhood. It's about brotherhood and less of this. I saw this and I was just ticked. Look at this.
Hi, I'm Peter Vidmar of the General Young Men's Advisory Council, and I want to invite you to make a friend of the Aaronic Priesthood theme. Don't just read it, don't just recite it by reading it, but memorize it. And it will become a powerful influence in your life.
Okay, so here we're getting a cute little, I don't know, spiritual thought, okay? And which is good, but it was actually the same guy that I wanted to click on that said this that really frustrated me. And look this up. Why don't we go camping, young men worldwide Instagram? If you actually look up why don't we go camping, young men worldwide Instagram, this one I almost went through the roof, okay?
General Young Men's Advisory Council, and people sometimes ask, why don't we go camping anymore? Well, you should. You should go camping. We want you to go outside. We want you to go out with your fellow quorum members and your leaders and disconnect from your devices and your video games and take that time to do hard things and to let the Spirit testify to you what you need to do in your life. Sometimes it's the best place to get answers is out in the wilderness. Hello, I'm Peter.
Okay. So Peter Vidmar saw fit to basically, I don't know, victim blame the body of the church for not going camping. Oh, it's your fault. But camping's great because it teaches us how to do hard things. Yes, guys, getting a youth camp together is actually a very hard thing. There's a lot of things that you have to prepare for. And I don't think it can be done just on an individual basis. I was raised by a single mother. What are you going to tell my mother? My mother in 1993? Oh, we've gotten rid of the Cub Scouts and that cool monthly camp that they used to do. So you, Sister Ellis, single mother who's already working 2 jobs to make ends meet, you should go camping with your son to make sure that he ends up being, a masculine father surrounded by male robots. Yeah, no, go camping. We're asked why people aren't going camping. I don't know. Why aren't they going camping? Why? Because there's a sea of people that depend upon the church to step up in aspects of their life where others have stepped down or are missing. I coach soccer for some lovely mothers. Unfortunately, their fathers were killed in Iraq. Are you going to tell that single mom You going to tell her, oh, well, you should go camping. You should go fulfill that role. No, we used to do that in Boy Scouts. And frankly, we got this weird Mexican standoff where the church is saying, oh, well, you should go camping. But then all the local leaders are like, well, then why'd you reduce our budget? Do we get the budget back that we used to spend on the Boy Scouts? Because I'm sorry, these things don't just happen magically. We can't just go to Camp Emerald Bay and squeeze an extra $1,200 out of poor single mom, poor part member family. Programs were developed because they were necessary. And when you get rid of them, there's unintended consequences. And when those unintended consequences come up, you need to address them, not just chastise people that are questioning, hey, why are my oldest kids more well-adjusted, do better at job interviews, make friends easier, while my youngest kids who didn't have the Boy Scouts, didn't have a robust young men's program, why are they not so well-adjusted? Oh, because you were cowardly and bent the knee to all the priests of Baal and shut down the church for 2 years. And then after we opened back up, people asked, why aren't we going camping and doing fun things outdoors again? Instead of saying, yeah, let's try and get on that, you send this old guy out there to say like, oh, no, hey, it's your fault.
Corden.
That's bogus, crappy leadership. And it's unbecoming of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Whatever numbskull approved this message needs to be fired tomorrow. And they need to beg whatever member of the church is working for Nike to come fill his spot. They need to beg whatever member of the church is running Nitro Circus to come fill his spot. They need to beg whatever person, okay, is running Young Men Worldwide to step down and make some room for the person that's running Strive to Be. Strive to Be happens to be a little bit more masculine. Whoops. Strive to Be ends up being a little bit more masculine than the entire Young Men Worldwide pages. Look at this. This is more of a boys' website than Young Men Worldwide is. I don't know. This bothers me, man. I would be a statistic.
I couldn't tell.
I would be a statistic if not for the programs of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I am very defensive of them. And I have to say that on our what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to open this in a new tab. On the comments of our video talking about we are failing young men, there was overwhelming comments in our favor. In fact, I'm going to pull it up right now and I'm going to go over these comments really fast before we catch up on the super chats. And I just got to tell you, look at these comments. I am not the only one that is recognizing this. Some people said the rant in 40 minutes in was hilarious, but yeah, look at this. I mean, look at these comments. It is not just me that's recognizing this. Babe, I can see that you think I'm getting passionate again, but as a mother, even you are noticing we used to do these big things. We used to be good at it, and we're not good at it now, and it can't all be laid at the feet of the single moms that aren't taking their sons camping.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm just not as passionate like you.
Well, also, you're a woman.
And I don't get heated, whereas you do. And maybe that's a difference between male and female, probably. So, I don't know. I am more of just like, well, we'll just figure it out and we'll move on. But then I get your point of why do we have to when we have a church that used to do these things? Why can't we continue with those things? Because it was basic and the basics are good. So I get it.
Yeah. Thank you for getting me, babe.
Okay,
all right, catch us up on the super chats.
Yeah, okay.
And then unfortunately, we got to go. So if you got any last burning questions to get out of your system, we've got 6 minutes and 23 seconds before we have a hard out here, because I promised my wife I'd go no more than an hour and a half, and our 90-minute mark is coming up here in a second. So Brittany, hit us.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I got to scroll.
I can find where we left off really fast. Latter-day Chad says, I have Dave on not date. Don't know what that is. But
the first one I see is Rex Good, where he says 532 is about the making of green flake.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes.
But I can't scroll past. So if I skipped one, then you got to find that.
No. Also here for Cursey Words was Ashton. Then Darren Brower said, I demand equality. Where's my Trad Dad episode?
Okay,
Rex good.
No.
Then Ashton Jade Productions. Point of order. There was definitely a Cursey weed tonight. Back me up, chat. But as I said, totally here for it. That's funny. Jerry Grover says, waiting for the Mezzo Heartland cage match. Hey, if anybody of the Heartlanders out there, Rod Meldrum, Bril Hernandez, Jonathan Neville, if you guys would like to not debate, but just have a gentlemanly discussion with Jerry Grover, he's already said he would be down for it. If you would be down to watch it, please comment in the chat. And we're going to get both those guys down here to have that discussion in this studio. Jerry, you're invited. Rod Meldrum, Brill, Jonathan Neville, you're invited. If any other Mezzo guys would like to show up, you're invited as well. I just reached out today to Scripture Central saying, hey, your name has been invoked, and on our show, we believe you should be able to speak your side of the argument. I invited Jasmine Rapoli I can't remember how to pronounce the awesome pirate name. Her and her husband both on the show. Hopefully they'll respond to that invite. Danny Gray says, ladies, if you think this isn't true data, just ask yourself, when was the last time your husband got that sandwich from your kitchen? I don't know, but I think that's probably some joke about make me a sandwich, I guess. I'm probably missing the context, but I'm sure it was funny, Danny. I'm sure it was funny. Rex Good says, ask this 10-year Scoutmaster about what really killed LDS scouting. What killed it, Rex? Give us another super chat and we'll read it. And then, are you caught up now, babe? Can you see where we're at?
Yes.
Okay.
Huey says, watch Let's Get Real with Stephen Jones episode. LDS Grammy winner reconciles painful past in an unexpected way.
Yes, we're actually going to be doing a podcast, hopefully with Stephen Jones soon. He's a buddy of mine from the college days, and we have spoken often. He's a bishop right now, though. And he's fighting the good fight for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the trenches in the most difficult job in the church. So I haven't wanted to bother him to take him out of that until his calling is complete to come down here. But I might go up there to try and do a conversation with him. If you guys would like to see that, please also comment in the chat as well. Brittany, continue.
Fidget the Crazy says, this is another reason why I would want to make a Stripling Warriors comic for the youth to read and enjoy and relate to. These characters are real. Let's make them relatable.
Fidget the Crazy. You're so right. And Fidget, you need to get all of the other moderators. Do this for me, please. I believe Jonah Barnes and Ed Thomas are working on this as well. But if you could reach out to them. I'm sending you guys all a complimentary shirt. There were supposed to be ones that had moderator written on the side, but those didn't end up coming. So I'm going to have to guess
Now you're just the same as the rest of us.
Yeah, but either way,
Sorry.
You guys all get a free shirt with a thank you letter from me for your service moderating the chat. I am indeed so grateful that you guys are fighting the good fight in Discord, making sure that it's a fun and a safe place for everybody to talk. So please make sure that we get all of your addresses. So at our expense, we can send you some really cool of these shirts now that we have them. Brittany, continue.
Latter-day Chad says, First Temple, Judaism, Yahweh and El Elyon episode featuring Latter-day Chad. Now that you've had Date on, I have some interesting things to share.
Okay, I think it meant now that we have had Dave Butler on. All right, interesting. Next super chat.
Yes. Latter-day Chad says, had Dave on, not Date.
Yep.
Drew says, I remember seeing a I'm a Mormon video about Jeremy Jones. He's a pro snowboarding and riding his motorcycle and talking about his faith. That's what young men worldwide should be.
Yes. Get all these people doing great things and not just athletic things. Yes, get Jeremy Jones, the snowboarder, out there. Yes, let's get the guy that's running the 400-meter dash at record time out there. But you know what? Let's get the kid that's winning the spelling bee. Let's get the kid that's putting together the Rubik's Cube. Let's get the kid that's going rappelling and rock climbing. Let's get the kid that memorized, pi to the 100th decimal or something like that. Let's get all of these young men that are doing great things instead of the chastising memo from the bureaucrat in a shirt and tie at the church office building, victim blaming people that don't go camping. Next.
Okay. Rex Good says it's not something I can put in a super chat.
Oh, okay. We'll have to talk about it offline.
Well, now I'm intrigued, Rex. Gosh.
We got 90 seconds left, guys. 90 seconds left. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to go. If you have any last burning questions, please make sure that you send them to us in the super chat. But, Brittany, any last words here before I do my little outro?
No.
You're like, no. Awesome. Well, show them the back of the shirt so everybody knows what they can get. If you guys go to wardradio.com within 24 hours, we should have, we can see it. Within 24 hours, we should have the rest of our shirts cataloged and on the website. We even got the cool little poly mailers ready. Is there another super chat?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Awesome. Sorry. You looked down at your phone. I thought there was another super chat.
Sorry.
So, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. This has been totally awesome. If you haven't had a chance yet, please make sure you like that button. If you haven't subscribed yet to our website, please make sure that you go to wardradio.com, okay? On the homepage,
When are you putting shirts on the website?
Within 24 hours.
Oh.
Within 24 hours, we're going to actually probably get inventory uploaded tonight. So anyway, make sure that you also sign up for the newsletter, okay? At the bottom of the website, see there's that little spot that says sign up for the newsletter. Please make sure that you guys sign up for the newsletter there so you get some of our news sent straight to your email inbox. Also, it is on wardradio.com where you're going to be able to buy the shirts if you weren't able to send a super chat today during the live stream. If you actually look at the top of wardradio.com where it says home, about, contact, and news, there's going to be a little tab there that says merch. And there under merch, you're going to see the Ward Radio shirts. There they are, hot off the press. Hot off the press. Oh my gosh, I can't find the other picture. Okay, they're right there, hot off the press. Ready for you to don them, show them off to your friends, buy them for your buddies. So anyway, other than that, guys, this has been totally awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Please make sure that you press the like button. Everybody that sent us a super chat for a shirt, do not forget to email clerk@wardradio.com with your size, your real name, and your real address so we can ship that to you at our expense. And as always, it's been real and it's been fun and it's been real fun. For this and more, please make sure you check us out at wardradio.com.